My name is Oluwafemi. So I work in the Museum as a curator. So I also welcome you to Badragry, historical and ancient town. And I also welcome you to Mobi Slave Relics Museum, where we have the original chains that was used on the slave during the time of slavery. And these chains here have been here for over 400 years. These chains have been the chain that they used on our own forefather, with the people who called the slaves during the time of slavery. So whenever the Europeans come around Badragry, they always try to meet the African chiefs. So whenever they come around, we call it Awin. Some of us call it Liki Liki, but the English call it velvet tree. On the shade of this tree, we proclaimed Christianity in Nigeria in the year 1842. Then in that same 1842, that was when this man gave them land to build where they can be living here in Badragry. So they built free to other people here in Badragry. And we also have the years slavery was abolished in different parts of the world. In British West Indies 1833, Australia 61, Brazil 1863, United States 1863, Brazil 1888, Africa 1870, Badragry 1886. Then if you look at these two areas, Brazil and Badragry. So it was 2 years later they stopped here in Badragry and not finally stopped in Brazil. So that is why we have most of our people in somewhere like Brazil and America. So also this is the painting of the first story building in Nigeria, formerly known as the Missionaries House, where we have this man, Bishop Samuel Ejaikrada, who was the first African bishop. And this man here, he was also a slave. He was captured at the age of 12 years. Who later gained his freedom in Freetown, the capital of Sierra Leone. Yes. So lastly, we have this book that shows us negotiation. So this is how they made the negotiation. After this, tried to threaten most of our African chiefs with ambitions, so most of them just agree with them. So they made the negotiation, they were selling all that was, they moved them from the slave market down to the point of no return. That's why we have most of our people in all those countries over there now. So you're welcome. That is all we have for you in the Mobi Slave Relics Museum. This is the room of the interpreter, Bishop Samuel Ejaikrada, who was a slave that later gained his freedom in Freetown, the capital of Sierra Leone. So he was being appointed by the man called Crowder. Crowder was the one who sent him to school. Then the man later came back to become the first African bishop. So, and these are the two Bibles here. The one brought by Henry Townsend, and the one being translated into Yoruba by Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowther. This is the Yoruba and this is the English, the two original Bibles. The two original Bibles. The English here and the Yoruba over here. So, and this is the picture of Samuel Ajayi Crowther. So, this is the picture. And also, this is also the one. So, this environment used to be the original slave port. So, moving the slave from the slave market, if the ship have not arrived at the point of no return, that means they have to bring them into the Barracoon. So they will be kept here while 40 people will be living in one room in this Brazilian Barracoon. But anytime the ship have arrived at the point of no return, that means they have to march the slave from that area down to across of the lagoon. So getting to this place, they already have a very big boat, a paddle boat, made woods.
Yeah, I know.
A boat that can take a boat that can take about 150 slaves or 200 slaves at a time. Now with the chains around their necks and ankles and their wrists and their waist. Now the slave will be the one paddling the boat from here down to the island over there. And the island is called Berefu Island. But during this time of slavery, nobody was living on the island. So nobody was living on that island during the time of slavery. So they only have the narrow path where the slave will pass through down to the point of no return, where the big ship will be waiting for the arrival of the slaves. And along that route, there's a well over there called Spirit Attenuation Well. In that well water, they make some kind of African concoction. So that's African magic into the well water. So that is the water that they normally give to the slaves that makes them to lose their memory and that also makes them to be less aggressive because the white or the European don't want to die, but they don't care about the blacks. So that's the reason why they made that water and they give to them just to make them calm. So getting to the ocean over there, the big ship have to be at the middle of the sea. That is, they have to be offshore. Now, they have to go through the Arc of Departure. It's over there. So we have the Arc of Departure and the slave tunnel. So getting to the Arc of Departure, they have to separate the slaves. The women aside, the men aside. So now, moving them through the slave tunnel, and they have to go around the tunnel before moving them into a small paddle boat again. Now, they have to paddle from that area down to the middle and transfer them into the big ship. And the big ship that normally take about 400 to 500 slaves out of Badragry. So, why sometimes they also go to area like Dahomey, which is now known as Benin Republic. They also go to places like Ghana also to get more slaves before they will now be moving to their final destination. So sometimes they do normally overload the ship. So by overloading the ship, it makes the ship sometimes maybe when the current change and they don't want the boat to capsize. So all they do is by moving or throwing some of the slaves into the water so that the boat will not be able to capsize. So we can actually move close to the water, then you see the water, and now because we are not in the slavery period anymore, so that's why we have a safety and a very covered boat now that people use from here or tourists use from here down to the point of no return. And we also call it Door of Return. We always have a festival here in Badragry called Door of Return. That's every August. Every August. So Door of Return. So let's move closer. Then you see the water. So that's big boat we use. So let's go in so that I'll be able to see the rooms.
Yeah.
Where they normally
Again.
So he's working here. His name is Cornerstone.
Hello, nice to meet you. Hello. Nice to meet you. Thanks so much.
So he's going to tell us about this cell.
What's the name again?
Israel.
Israel.
From Brazil.
Israel. Wow, you're from Brazil.
Yeah.
You're welcome. We call the compound Brazilian Barracão.
Barracão.
That's how we call it, compound Brazilian Barracão. So the slave taken for the compound, they're taken to Brazil. And they were Yoruba origin. And Barracão is a Spanish word meaning slave cell or storehouse where the slaves were being kept in those days. And this summer that we have today, we have 40 rooms in the compound. And 40 slaves must be in each of the room. But the government met with the family that they should retain the two cells the way it were. They now gather most of the relics and some of the items they used on slaves and kept that people all over the world come down here to view. But before we go in, this is the cenotaph of the man that owned the compound. He was captured when he was at the age of 6 as a slave boy. His birth name was Ifare Milekun. Today, how come we call him Seriki Williams Abbas? Abbas was the first master that owns him as a slave. He later resold him to a white man that took him to Brazil. The white man taught him how to read and write, later freed him and built the compound in 1840. In 1895, he became the Seriki Musulumi of Badragry. Seriki is the title among the Muslims because slaves bear their master's name. That is why we call him Seriki Williams Abbas. The name of the first owner and the second owner, and the title that he had. His own birth name disappeared. That's why I say if I'm Israel's slave, my name should be Israel, or any name you wish to give to your slave. And these were some of the European products that they use in exchange for the slave. One umbrella go for 40 human beings as a slave. A bottle of whiskey go for 10 human beings. The long cannon go for 100. The short one go for 40. Europeans give you one gun, they collect 40 human beings for a gun. A ceramic bowl, we call it breaking plate in the houses, go for 10 human beings as slave. Mirror and the bed. There's what we call bargain power. You can say 2 slaves, I can say 3 slaves. It depends how you can bargain and negotiate with the European. Now, look at these 2 entrance doors. I've been here since 1740s when the company was being established. It's one of our monuments here. And don't forget, we have 40 rooms and 40 slaves in each of the rooms. Once they move out of this compound, there should be an entrance here. They'll cross this water here to that island called Point of No Return. It's a slave raft. Now, let's see the 2 rooms and see what we are doing.